Finally tonight, the 2011 Pulitzer Prizes were announced this afternoon. Among the winners in the arts, for music, Kevin Putz and his work Silent Night, opera in 2 acts. For history, Manning Marable for his book Malcolm X, A Life of Reinvention. Marable died in April of last year. And for biography, John Lewis Gaddis for his book George F. Kennan, An American Life. Very unusually, there was no winner in the fiction category this year. Among the journalism awards, David Wood of the Huffington Post won for national reporting. He chronicled the struggles of wounded war veterans when they returned home. And the Public Service Award went to a team at the Philadelphia Inquirer that investigated pervasive violence in the city's schools. And we're joined by one of the members of that team of reporters, Kristen Graham. Kristen, first, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, set the scene a little bit for us. How did you and your colleagues first get onto this story?
Well, we decided to do the story after an incident at a Philadelphia high school in December of 2009 when a group of Asian immigrant students were severely beaten. It was a racially motivated beating, and the school district response really was very lukewarm at first. And advocates throughout the city were sort of saying, how could this happen? And we decided that we were going to devote resources to looking into a pervasive culture of violence in the Philadelphia School District.
Well, when you say pervasive culture, tell us a little bit about what that means. What kind of violence are we talking about? What ages are the students? What were you seeing?
Well, in some cases, students as young as elementary school, even kindergartners, were both victims of violence and committing violent acts. We really saw a lot of violence at the high school level. In one particularly disturbing case, there was a group of students who went basically from room to rooms looking for their victim, and this happened in plain sight. Teachers, principals all allowed it to happen. We also found widespread underreporting throughout the system.
Well, that, I gather, was an important piece of this, the unreported element of it. Why was that going on? Was this about keeping the numbers down, or what did you find?
In many cases, it was about keeping the numbers down. There's really a disincentive. When we did the series, it was up to school officials to report their own violence, and obviously it didn't reflect well on them if they showed violence, and so we found that many officials were just not reporting incidents, that the district simply never found out about it. No one was ever punished. So it was really quite an issue in many schools.
And that includes the teachers not reporting anything? Some cases, I mean.
It was the responsibility of the administrators to report violence, and now since the series that's changed, it's up to school police to report.
Well, so then the question became, I'm sure for your readers, whether authorities at all levels were doing enough to stop the violence.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we heard from many readers, and certainly most poignantly from victims of violence, that they felt enough was not being done. There's a new administration in the School District of Philadelphia, and they've taken a more serious approach to school violence. They've come out with some different regulations, and so they say they're taking it more seriously than their predecessors.
Well, I noted the Pulitzer citation said that your team's reporting, quote, brought reform and improved safety for students and teachers. So tell us a little bit about how that happens. You do a series, it sparks debate and controversy in the city, and what happens? What happened in your case?
Well, in our case, shortly after, a few months after the series came out, there was a new administration in Philadelphia, and so the new School Reform Commission, they're the governing body of the School District of Philadelphia, came in and put in some reforms. The district had put in reforms after the series came out as well, so it was really kind of in parts. It didn't happen immediately, but it's happened incrementally, and we hear anecdotally that things are improving.
Now, how much goes into a series like this in terms of resources, in terms of your time? Give us a little sense of the process of the reporting.
Well, we were 5 reporters who were on the series for more than a year, which is a huge investment of time. And some of us were on it for the entire time. I cover the Philadelphia School District. It's my beat. And so for a long time, I would do my daily stories and work on the series, kind of in my spare time. But it really was a huge commitment on the paper's part, and we're particularly proud that it is a staff award because we really feel like it was, the whole staff that made this happen.
I can't help but note, of course, that it happens at a time when your paper, of course, lots of papers are going through economic hard times. Your paper has had many rounds of layoffs. The parent company was recently sold. So that's the kind of larger context for your work.
Absolutely. It was a great day in the newsroom, and we really felt like it focused a spotlight on the fact that not just my colleagues and I who worked on the series, but everyone at the Enquirer is doing really good work, and we really feel like public service journalism is what we're in business to do, and it was a great day.
Is there follow-up reporting going on to this or other stories in the schools?
Absolutely, absolutely. As I said, I cover the school district and have been writing about cheating in the Philadelphia school district, and also certainly following violence as well. So it's something that we've got our eye on very closely.
All right, Kristen Graham of the Philadelphia Inquirer, part of the team that won the Pulitzer Prize this year for public service. Thanks so much, and again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
In the past year, we've profiled the work of several other of the newly named Pulitzer winners. Those include Matt Apuzzo of the Associated Press for investigative reporting on the New York Police Department's clandestine spying of Muslim communities, Sarah Ganim of the Patriot News for her reporting in Harrisburg on the Penn State scandal, New York Times correspondent Jeffrey Gettleman, who covers Africa, and poet Tracy Smith, who won for her book Life on Mars. We've collected those interviews online, and you can find a link to them all on our homepage.